Well, how's it going today, everyone? We have yet another game promoting disgusting, genderless, non-binary fake shit. Corporations all across society want to continue promoting this mental illness because they want to turn everyone gay, have everyone thinking they can be any made-up gender they want, and then pay a doctor to chop their meat off. And the gaming industry is dealing with this as well. And this is about Terraria. Yes, this old indie game. And this is a bit sad to me. This is one of my favorite games growing up. I bought the game like 5 times throughout my life. This doesn't ruin the game for me. It's just so random. Because the final update of the game came out. This game hasn't got new content for a long time, but all of a sudden they're just removing the gender options. We have an article to read from That Park Place, and the headline reads, Report, Relogic's Terraria removes gender selection 13 years after release and most recent patch. Again, just why, and after so long, 13 years. It's so random. Why don't you make a sequel? Like, this is one of the biggest indie games of all time. Last time I checked, I believe it sold like 20 million copies. You canceled the spin-off game called Terraria Otherworld, but instead of working on a sequel or announcing a sequel to one of the biggest indie games, you decide to just remove the gender options? It's just retarded and just unnecessary, but let's continue reading. A new report claims that Terraria publisher and developer Relogic removed gender selection from the game 13 years after it was released. The game released to Steam in 2011. For those unfamiliar with Terraria, it's a popular pixel adventure game that allows players to quote-unquote dig, fight, explore, and build. The Steam curator list woke and censored games alert. I should probably follow that one. That sounds funny. And it's probably very, very useful. Not just for playing games, but for making videos as well. But let's continue. The Steam curator list woke and censored games alert shared a side-by-side screenshot to Imgur of the character creation options in the game's 1.4.4 version and its 1.4.5 version. As you can see, the selection is there. There's a square for gender on the left, but on the right side, the 1.4.5 update is just completely removed. That feature is just gone from the game. You're doing extra work when you can spend this time actually making new content instead of removing content that was there from the beginning of the game. So not even old games are safe from this gay shit. This shit came out 13 fucking years ago. Why are you going back to be fucking gay? And this game has a big modding community, so I'm not sure if there's a mod that restores this shit back. If there isn't a mod for that, then someone should make a mod for that. And on top of that, I would love to see the backlash a mod like that gets. We all remember the backlash that a mod got that removed the pride flags from Spider-Man, and Nexus mods removed it. That website is gay, but they're the premier website to get your mods. So it would be funny to see something similar happen, and I would just make another video. But let's continue reading the article. In the 1.4.4 version, one can clearly see that the option to choose between a male and female character with gender symbols. However, that's since been replaced in the 1.4.5. I hate these fucking version names. It's so stupid and annoying. Whatever, let's just continue. With what appears to be various different body options. It's more than likely this change is made to cater to the transgender movement that rejects the differences between males and females and believes one can change from one to the other through chemical and physical means. This is a rejection of reality and leads to significant emotional, spiritual, and physical harm to the individuals that buy into this evil ideology and movement. The game had a peak concurrent player base of 35,781 in the last 24 hours, which is around what the game had through 2017 to 2019 until the game went super viral during COVID in 2020 when it hit a peak concurrent of 489,886 players. And that is basically the end of the article. I don't think this is going to do that much damage to the game. I feel like if you're still playing this game, you're going to continue to still play this game. Because like I said before, this game has a big modding community. Maybe I might get back into it. Honestly, after hearing stupid shit like this, I'm not going to be in the mood to play it. But this is annoying because it's so random and out of nowhere. Are other indie games going to do the same shit? Like go back to an indie game from like 10 years ago and just change the gender options? It's so unnecessary. I don't understand. They didn't even make an announcement or anything like that. They just snuck it in there and thought nobody would notice. Or maybe they didn't care that somebody would notice. I don't get it. What the fuck is the point? Can you just make a sequel? This game came out 13 years ago. Why haven't we had a sequel and a part 3 as well? Instead, you want to waste your time doing this fucking pandering, but nobody asked for this shit. Nobody who's playing the game right now is asking for a genderless, non-binary, tranny option in the game. No, they just want more games. They want more of it. You already released the final update. That's the shit that's so funny to me. You had an update called Journey's End. You said this is the final content update for the game. The update came out maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. But now you came back to this game years after the final update just to remove something for the game instead of adding more fucking shit to the game, you stupid fuck. What the fuck is wrong with people? Like seriously, all this pandering to 1% of the population, less than 1%, if you just talking about the pretender genders that don't know if they're male or female. Like how the fuck do you not know? These people are mentally retarded, and it's so weird that companies all across society want to pander to a small mentally ill group of fucking psychos that don't buy anything in the first place. They spend their entire life savings just to chop their meat off. You really think they buying games like that? Or watching movies like that? Or reading comic books like that? It's so fucking weird. They will literally want everybody to be gay and mentally ill. That's the only thing I can think of. You want more people to spend money on these stupid surgeries so they can live in a fucking fake reality and then go psychotic and take their anger out on other people. We've seen this shit time and time again. Transgender people and non-binary people do not exist. Anyone who calls themselves trans or non-binary should be locked up in a cage in a mental hospital and given conversion therapy. Period. Normalizing mental illnesses puts normal people in danger. And these animals, these fucking freaks, these science experiments are dangerous. You seen the shootings that they do. You see the harm that they do to kids. They touch kids. They're a danger to society. Stop normalizing this shit. Normal people do not want to see it. When are these fucking companies gonna realize this shit? You're only gonna keep losing money, and people are sick of these freaks getting special treatment. It's just fucking corny at this point. It's boring, it's corny, it's old. And games like Terraria just go out of their way to do this. For what reason? Other than to promote this shit and indoctrinate more people. This is why people are tired of video games, man. I'm glad most indie games aren't doing this shit. Indie games actually care about gameplay and not ideology or politics or anything like that. They just focus on making a good game. The games I play don't even talk about this shit, and they shouldn't talk about this because nobody gives a fuck. Only mentally ill Twitter furries care about that shit, and they're broke. They're fucking broke. Like I said before, I bought this game 5 times throughout my whole life on different platforms. Support and listen to the actual fans, not the activists. Or maybe the people behind the company are activists as well. That's what I think it is, because everybody's just getting indoctrinated all of a sudden. People behind the companies, celebrities are all activists, a bunch of big content creators are all activists. Everyone's just getting indoctrinated. Everybody's just getting TDS and having political meltdowns on the internet. So it wouldn't surprise me that this company's doing the same shit. Either that or they got some investments. The typical DEI and ESG investments that force all these companies to talk about politics and do shit like this. And I'm just gonna keep rambling, so I'm just gonna end it off here. Terraria, just go fuck yourself already.